Not a week goes by without some form of brain-meltingly stupid discourse infecting the online game space. Our current political environment has really brought out the best and brightest among us, as every week they turn the nozzle to the cone setting to make sure they cover every inch of the internet with their drivel. Crimson Desert has been a popular conversation topic for months now, as a narrative was crafted that games media hated the game, even though critics generally rated it favorably and only pointed out the same fixable issues that I did, which you can hear all about in this video I already made on the subject. The developers at Pearl Abyss have been diligently working on the game since release, fixing a lot of the little pain points and turning Crimson Desert into a better experience for everyone. But the narrative that the game's media hates Crimson Desert remained, because it was rated in the generally high 70s. There's Marathon, which has people stirred up into a frenzy anytime you mention the game on social media platforms. It's gotten so ridiculous that there are accounts being created just to search for and harass people who are enjoying the game. Every day, every hour, there are people making videos or obsessing over the game's player counts as if their livelihood depended on it. In some cases, just might, actually. And then we have the most recent internet blow-up over Mixtape, a short and sweet coming-of-age story that has people once again arguing over what actually counts as a video game, how critics are supposedly paid shills, and any other number of conspiracy theories someone came up with while sitting on the toilet scrolling social media. One of the talking points surrounds Annapurna, being led by billionaire Megan Ellison, but people frequently neglect to mention that this was the same publisher who released What Remains of Edith Finch, Outer Wilds, Sayonara Wild Hearts, Neon White, Stray, Cocoon, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, and Wonderstop, none of which got any attention or backlash for being billionaire funded, an industry plant, or paying off reviewers. A number of outlets awarded Mixtape with perfect scores, and this has predictably set the internet ablaze over the audacity of people with opinions who might have really enjoyed an experience that resonated with them, regardless whether it's a game or, I guess, a more interactive experience, as if it makes a real difference. Not to mention, by the time reviews had dropped, nobody yelling about them had even played the game for themselves yet because only critics had access. A common trait amongst the most talented user reviewers in the online space is having the ability to experience games through osmosis via their most hated critics. This allows them to form an opinion without ever clicking a single button in a game, and they can even distill other people's thoughts into their own personal numbered score, which they can then share with similarly skilled users over on Metacritic. These are all discussions we've been having since the release of Dear Esther in 2012. Yes, Before Gone Home was Dear Esther, and yes, people were arguing about whether it was a game 14 years ago too. That and video game resolutions. Console warriors were lighting up the internet over which version of the same game was better based on the resolution output. Websites literally built their entire readership off these types of articles. The online gaming discourse has always been stupid, but until the last few years, it wasn't so heavily monetized and pushed by a huge number of bad actors who are emboldened by the current political climate. At least with video game scores and resolutions, we at least partially know what people are upset about. Lately, people are just making things up to get angry about. A user on social media well known for their constant bullshit whipped up an outrage mob over fake plot details in Saros, which got spread around all the usual channels as factual information and accrued hundreds of thousands of views. Months ago, Black Myth Wukong Studios reported to have been blackmailed into paying $7 million for an American consulting firm, without any receipts to prove it. Studios like Don't Nod are being attacked for having been awarded government grants, as if it's a new thing for governments to help fund the arts. Slay the Spire 2 is being review bombed because Anita Sarkeesian, who's working as an independent consultant these days, is listed in the credits. The investigative minds of our time really had to dig deep to find that one. Or how about the CEO of CI Games, thinking that the real reason the Lords of the Fallen reboot, which I loved by the way, didn't sell well was because it didn't have enough scantily clad women in it, and so a bunch of their marketing has been focused on making beautiful women acceptable again, as if normal people don't like attractive people in their games or entertainment in general. Someone clearly hasn't watched Spartacus House of Asher, or any show on Starz, or HBO Max. Anyway, we often refer to the culture war in regards to these things, but at this point, the culture war seems to be focused on literally every game release and developer unless they pander to the right crowds on social media, like the CEO of CI Games has been doing for the last 2 years. Despite not having an agenda, as he often likes to claim, whatever the fuck that means. I've played through Mixtape, and there's nothing to complain about in it. It's just a short, sweet, nostalgic story set in the 90s about finding your path in life as you prepare to graduate high school. It's got great art, fantastic soundtrack, and is heavy on the emotions. And apparently the biggest controversy people can come up with about it is that the cassette tape wasn't rewound in the right direction. It's a great illustration of how the discourse of today is largely made up of nonsense to benefit those who have figured out how they can game the system and lie with no consequences for doing so, because studios and individuals don't often have the funds to do anything about it. And those that do, like PlayStation for example, often choose to just ignore the noise while the people who work for them are being relentlessly targeted online. And then we have actual outlets legitimizing so much of this nonsense by giving it the dignity of trying to explain what has people upset in the first place, rather than just calling for what it is. So, why am I discussing this at all, you're gonna ask? Didn't I just say it shouldn't be covered? Because it's exhausting to even have to sift through it at this point. Just look at the comments thread under Skillup's review of Mixtape, or literally any post anywhere about the game. This shit is completely unavoidable if you want any presence in the online game space, unless you spend a hell of a lot of time moderating it out of your community. Which I do, because I want our comments and community to be a place you can actually discuss media without the sludge. What people need to realize is that these things aren't worth giving the air they're so desperate for. The discourse creators of today simply don't merit the rebuttals or the time spent on them by the people they're clearly parasitizing. They will cite anyone who says anything they can turn into content and farm the engagement for ad dollars. It's the influencers, the press, the gaming creators, the viewers, it's us. We're all taking part in cheapening the experience of the media we're supposed to enjoy because all anyone can focus on is the fabricated drama surrounding it. A trap that is constantly benefiting the people who create daily content to push that outrage. I'm guilty of this as well, so I'm not trying to sound defeatist here. People love drama. It's a fact of life. You will always have more to say about something that elicits strong emotions from you. But as a collective, we need to be better about sharing work that isn't as provocative, and the work that makes us think or appreciate the medium we interact with so often. The world has an endless supply of stupidity to dish out. It's easy to create, and it's never been easier to monetize. But there's so much good work and discussions to be had online about entertainment media. We all just need to do a better job of curating the spaces for it, and stop allowing the people who just want to ruin everything for everyone to have control over it.